The sun was just beginning to rise over the savanna as Daniel Mbeki, 42, made his way cautiously through the tall grass. He had been a ranger for nearly 2 decades at a reserve in southern Africa, and he knew that territory like the back of his hand. That morning, however, something felt different. The wind blew in short gusts, stirring the acacia trees as if their branches were whispering warnings. A group of vultures circled slowly in the sky, too low, too focused on a single spot. Daniel stopped. He adjusted his rifle strap, not to hunt, but out of habit, and switched off the radio hanging from his shoulder. The silence was thick. No insects, no small birds, just the crunch of dry grass beneath his boots. Then he heard it. A low, irregular sound. It wasn't a roar. It was something deeper, more contained. A deep groan that seemed to vibrate in the air. Daniel slowly turned his head toward the source of the sound, and he saw it. About 30 meters away, partially concealed within the yellowing grass, lay a full-grown white lion. Its pale, almost spectral fur contrasted sharply with the dark earth. It was massive, even by the standards of the species. Its chest rose and fell laboriously. One of its front paws was caught in a steel trap. Daniel felt his pulse pounding in his temples. Traps were illegal in this reserve. Someone had come in during the night. Poachers. They weren't looking for meat. They were looking for trophies. The lion tried to move. The metals screeched. The animal let out a stifled growl and collapsed again, exhausted. The wound was swollen, dried blood crusted around the steel. Daniel took a step back, taking a deep breath. He knew what it meant to approach a full-grown lion, even a wounded one. He also knew what it meant to do nothing. He reached for his radio. "Base, this is Mbeki," he said in a low voice. "I have an adult lion caught in a trap. Requesting veterinary team. Approximate location, North Sector, near the dry creek bed." The response took a few seconds that felt like an eternity. "Copy that, Daniel. The team is on the way. Keep your distance. Do not attempt to intervene alone." Daniel lowered the radio. He looked at the lion. The animal lifted its head with effort. Its eyes, a pale amber, locked onto him. There was no immediate fury, only exhaustion and pain. Daniel crouched down slowly, maintaining eye contact without challenging it. "Easy," he murmured, more for himself than for the animal. The lion bared its fangs for just an instant, then lowered its head again. A shudder ran through its body. Time was running out. The sun climbed fast, and with it, the heat. Flies began to gather around the wound. The lion flicked his tail slowly, swatting them away half-heartedly. Daniel moved in a semicircle, looking for a better angle, always alert to any sudden change. He knew a wounded animal could go from lethargy to attack in seconds. The lion tried to rise again. He planted his good paw, pushed. The steel went taut. The chain was firmly anchored to the ground. The animal roared then, a short, broken roar that echoed across the savanna and faded among the trees. Daniel stood motionless. That sound could attract other lions, or hyenas, or the very hunters who had set the trap. He looked around. Nothing, just the open plain. The lion collapsed again. His breathing was faster now. White foam appeared at the corners of his mouth. Daniel knew how to read those signs. Stress could kill him even before help arrived. He made a decision. Moving slowly, he took off his backpack. He pulled out a water bottle. He took 2 steps forward, then stopped. 2 more. The lion lifted his head, alert. Daniel raised his hands, showing he held nothing else. "It's okay," he whispered. "I'm not going to hurt you." The wind shifted, carrying the human scent toward the lion. The animal wrinkled his snout and let out a low growl. Daniel stopped. He stood frozen for several long seconds. Finally, with extreme caution, he placed the bottle on the ground several meters from the animal and backed away. He didn't know if it would do any good, but he couldn't just stand there without trying. Daniel looked up. A vehicle was moving slowly across the savanna. Behind it, a smaller one. The veterinary team had arrived. Dr. Aisha Kumalo, a wildlife veterinarian, jumped out of the vehicle before it came to a complete stop. She assessed the scene quickly. "He's big," she said. "Very big." "He's been trapped for hours, maybe longer," Daniel replied. "The leg is very swollen." Aisha nodded. She gave quick orders to the team. They readied the tranquilizer rifle, the ropes, and the metal cutting tools. "We have to do this quickly," she added. "He's at his limit." Daniel watched as Aisha approached with the rifle. She aimed with precision. She fired. The dart struck the lion's flank. The animal reacted with a powerful roar, trying to get up. The trap held him back. The roar turned into a hoarse growl as the sedative began to take effect. Endless minutes passed. The lion fought it. Then his movements became clumsy. Finally, he fell onto his side, unconscious. "Now," said Aisha. The team moved with practiced speed. One monitored his breathing. Another scanned the surroundings. Aisha knelt beside the trapped leg. The steel had penetrated deep. The wound was infected. "We're going to lose time here," she murmured, "but there is still hope." Daniel held the lion's head, keeping it steady. He could feel the body heat, the contained strength even in unconsciousness. The tools screeched as they cut through the metal. When the trap finally gave way, the leg fell free. A heavy silence settled for a second. Then the team began to clean the wound, apply antibiotics, and bandage it carefully. "If he survives the next few days, he'll have a chance," Aisha said, her voice grave. Daniel looked at the lion. Even asleep, he commanded respect. His light mane was stained with dust and dried blood. "Do we move him?" he asked. Aisha shook her head. "The stress of the move could kill him. It's best to leave him here, monitor him, let him wake up in his territory." Daniel nodded. When they finished, they retreated slowly. The team moved away in silence, leaving the lion alone, bandaged, breathing with difficulty. Daniel stayed a moment longer. "Good luck," he said quietly. Then he left.